Here in downtown Cincinnati, they are beginning to throw things out of the windows of the buildings here, and all of them around there, and on each of the levels of the Carew Tower, there are people gathering, and also on the other Mabley Carew building in downtown, people are gathering there now, and the sky is literally being filled right now with balloons, ticker tape. I think there's a little white cloud or something flying around there as well, and it's really starting to mount the enthusiasm as the parade gets near. On the square, there are 25 members from the University of Cincinnati Band, and I think you can hear them in the background as well. Standing next to me is a gentleman who was a guest on the local portion of this program a little bit earlier, between 11:30 and 12, with Bill Brown. But I want you folks who are along the network to have a chance to meet the voice of the Cincinnati Reds, along with Marty Brenneman, Joe Nuxall. Hey, Nux, you got to be the happiest guy in town.
Absolutely. Number 2.
Joe, I saw you in the locker room right after the game. You still had your uniform on. Did you sit on the bench for the whole game, or did you pitch batting practice, or what?
Bob, I don't know. I guess I'm superstitious, but the first game of the World Series here in Cincinnati, I stayed in the clubhouse. We won. The second game, I stayed in the clubhouse. We won. The third game, I decided I'd better stay in the clubhouse, and also the fourth. So it was a great thrill to see those guys come through the door from that dugout in the playing field.
You mean you stayed in there and watched it on TVs and sucked up some Strohs and watched that game in there?
No, not really, not quite like that. But I tell you, we were in there, and I guess I have to say I'm superstitious.
You know, Joe, I watched your career from the time you were just a kid when you first began to pitch with the Cincinnati Reds, and all the years you were with them pitching great baseball. And you're a legend here in our city. And in addition to that, your voice as part of the radio team on WLW Radio and the Cincinnati Reds Radio Network is one of the real institutions in this area. People absolutely love you. How does that make you feel when they go to your defense and they say, hey, Nuxall's the voice?
Well, Bob, I tell you, it's a tremendous thrill to have been associated with Cincinnati baseball since 1944. And, you know, we have the greatest fans in the world. And I don't say that because 2,600,000+ came into Riverfront Stadium this year. I think we've been able to experience what disciplined people we have as fans in Cincinnati. And we're talking about the whole area, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, Tennessee, all over. They're just wonderful fans, and they appreciate good baseball. They appreciate the fact that the Reds win, and they celebrate along with us, and they're not unruly in any way. And I think it's something that we're very proud of. I know the Reds organization is. The players are most appreciative of the support they get and the kind people we have as fans.
Joe, I wish the networks would pick up a portion of this in the New York City area, in Los Angeles, and across the United States, because these are the fans, and we can pan around and take a look at them now. A very orderly group of people who have supported this baseball team, not only this year, the winning year, and last year, but for years and years and years. They're not throwing beer cans. They're not tearing up the fountain. And the people who do that kind of thing, they're not baseball fans. And I think that when they put that on the network, that someone here had trouble with that or whatever, that it really gives a wrong impression of what the baseball fans are like here in this city. These are the fans out here today, ready to welcome their team back. And Joe, I appreciate your joining me here on the BBS.
All right, Bob, I appreciate it. And, well, let's go for number 3.
Oh, I hope so. When Ruby Wright and those Red Leg Rooters go down to spring training, we'll be there, won't we, Joe?
You know, and I wish it were in 2 weeks from now.
I do, too. You're ready, aren't you? Thank you. Joe Nuxall, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you could hear your applause back there in the studio. This will be a busy day. Those of you at home watching or listening on WLW Radio, why don't you forget cooking for the day and get to the Ponderosa Steakhouse. You know, it doesn't cost any more really to go there, if as much, to enjoy a delicious meal, whether it's a steak or one of the other fine things from their menu. You'll find that delicious food from Ponderosa is yours at a reasonable price, where you can get a square deal on a square meal. And incidentally, if it has been a while since you have been to Ponderosa, don't forget that most of them now have already been remodeled, and all of them soon will be. New things on the menu, new seating capacity. In some, they have a salad bar already set up. They'll be in all of them sooner or later. So get to Ponderosa and enjoy a square deal on a square meal. Bill Myers is high above the crowd, and Bill, we have $4,800 in the big money called jackpot. Bill, what is the question today?
Here it is, Bob. Which team did New York defeat in the 1941 World Series? And the answer is Brooklyn. Again, which team did New York defeat in the 1941 World Series? The answer for $4,850, it's Brooklyn.
Thank you, Bill. And we'll be up to you and watching the parade in just a bit. Right now, Rob Ryder and our beautiful studio audience back at the studio are all ready for some good music. So, Robbie, I don't know what you're singing today, but whatever it is, I know I'll like it. I had the most beautiful letter about you today from some folks who send in a contribution to the Ruth Lyons Christmas Fund just because they love what you sing on this program every day. So, dedicated to the world champion Cincinnati Reds and all those Bob Braun Show watchers and listeners out there. Here's Rob Ryder.
Bob, I tell you what, Rob was here, but guess what happened? Rob got here right the very last minute. He's parked in a no parking zone. They're about to tow away his van, so he had to go move his car. But we have a terrific replacement right here in red and a beautiful little gaucho suit. Say hello to Nancy Jane.
Oh, thank you, Colleen.
I'll be Rob Ryder for a day. Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, not the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you all are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that we've seen. We're on the top of the world looking down at creation, and the only explanation I can find is this love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. It's the leaves on the trees and the touch of the breeze. There's a sweet sense of happiness for me, and there is only one wish on my mind. When this day is through, I hope that I will find that tomorrow will be just the same for you and me. All I need will be mine if you are here. I'm on the top of the world looking down at creation, and the only explanation